studio. Did you get any usable recordings from Carl during his session?
Yes, ma'am. After he refused to complete the beauty pageant segment, we gave him a few tips.
Oh, there we go.
Princess Donut's session ran long, so we managed to obtain multiple takes.
What did you get? Let me hear it.
Well, it hasn't gone through editing yet. It's
Beep beep bum sheep, beep beep bum sheep. Hello everybody, Mizzy the Schleeme here, getting ready to
Let me
hear it.
stream some League, I guess.
Of course. Yes, ma'am. Let me find it.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Escaped Sakar, scrapper 142 before returning to Asgard, where he confronted his sister, who stole...
So, in conclusion, only idiots don't understand how powerful the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon card can be.
After Ice Cube destroyed his former associates NWA with his brutal diss track, No Vaseline, the hip-hopper community was left... Only you really need to stop the interrupting. Yes, I suppose some people might think that the wavy golden hair on their ears can be cute. But the truth is that these disease-ridden stench goblins are hiding a dark, terrible secret.
And nobody has ever figured out what the hell Hubert really is. Why
You really need to stop the interrupting. Yes, I suppose some people might think that the wavy golden hair on their ears can be cute. But the truth is that these disease-ridden stench goblins are hiding a dark, terrible secret.
Honestly, I should have waited just till Shyvana gets released.
nobody has ever figured out what the hell Hubert really is, or why he needs to be. And in 2019, audiobook sale.
Apologies, I went too far. We aren't going to use this take. Let me go back.
No, I want to hear
All you
this.
need to sell a kidney to afford more than one audiobook. It really is ridiculous, considering most authors spend hours toiling over their stories, painstakingly crafting each and every word. And what do they get? Alcoholism. That's what they get. That and the joy of logging into Goodreads only to find a new one-star review or an anonymous dipshit with a link to 2 episodes called the work lazy writing, after you literally spent 3 years writing it. Where did you get this? Some writer guy's blog? He sounds like a bitter asshole. Like, really bitter.
Keep reading, please.
Hmm.
Well, some schmuck with good hair and a microphone can just come along, read it out loud, and then charge what? 5 times as much? How is that fair? It only takes them like 2 days to read everything. Plus, these audiobook narrator guys are always just drowning in pussy. I bet you didn't know that. Really? Luckily, these assholes don't know how to write books, so I can get back at them in passive-aggressive ways. Like, I could introduce someone with a really fucked up spelled name like Surrendor and make them an important character in the next book. Or when they ask me to write a commercial at the end of my own book, I can add sentences such as, the thought of licking my fingers and gently caressing Matt's sensual, perfect nipples sets my loins ablaze. Anyway, I suppose there is one audiobook outlet that isn't so bad. SoundBoothTheater.com. They do something different. Yeah, they do the regular audiobook stuff you guys all know and love, but they also have these deep dive audiobooks too. They have music and sound effects and a full cast. It's like an audiobook movie, and it's super immersive. They have all these great stories you can't find anywhere else. And they also have their own self-contained app that's really easy to use. One of these days, I hope one of my books gets the deep dive treatment. Or at the very least, I have one of my stories read by someone awesome, like Justin Thomas James, who is just dead-ass sexy. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm 100% straight, but if I wasn't... You know what? I'm not reading this bullshit either. You can finish this commercial on your own.
I love a good audiobook.
You should probably just erase that. At least we got our money's worth out of donut.
You have been listening to Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 3. Written by Matt Dinman. Narrated by Jeff Hayes. Featuring the critical drinker as Vernon, the train conductor. Proofing by Harlan Guthrie. Editing and mastering by Augustine Jacob. Text copyright 2021 by Matt Dinman. Production copyright 2021 by Sound Booth Theater. A Sound Booth Theater production. To watch a metro fuck ton of hilarious movie reviews and editorials, visit The Critical Drinker on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. And if you were already a fan, did you know The Critical Drinker is an author too? Search for Will Jordan, here on Audible or on Amazon, or check out his recently finished 9-book thriller, The Ryan Drake series. To find more awesome audiobooks and deep dives into other RPGs, visit soundbooththeater.com and sign up for their newsletter. They'll tell you all about what's coming up next from Sound Booth Theater, including extra special stuff that might be happening with Dungeon Crawler Carl. Also, keep track of all the new lit RPG books and audiobooks that are coming out in the near future. Don't forget to visit all the awesome lit RPG Facebook groups out there, like the Game Lit Society, Lit RPG Books, and the Lit RPG Forum. And last but not least, if you really like Sound Booth Theater and you want to hang out with the narrators and the fans, look for the Sound Booth Theater Live Discord server, where you can catch them narrating live and listen to them fuck up and curse profusely.
Oh, this mother... Uh-oh. And I just realized I'm not streaming again. Give me a second!
Here's a recommended preview based on your listening. To listen to the full title, you can buy it on iTunes.
Whoopsies! Sorry about that, everybody. Welcome to Technical Difficulties. I am the Scuff. Well, I'm just a one-man band, I guess. Vicious little mother. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Give me my chicken nuggets. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Charlie Puth. Ba ba da ba ba. Gonna need that. Fuck. No. Dang it. Unfortunately, I cannot, I am playing the Rip and Tear, not the Tankadank.
This is fun.
Sound Booth Theater presents The Gate of the Feral Gods. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 4. Written by Matt Dinneman. Narrated by Jeff Hayes. Chapter 1. Phase 1 of 4. The Gnomes. Time to level collapse? 15 days. Views? 1.43 quintillion. Followers? 7 quadrillion. Favorites? 2.4 quadrillion. Leaderboard rank? 3. Bounty? 800,000 gold.
Welcome, crawler, to the 5th floor. The Bubbles. Sponsorship bidding initiated on crawler number 4122. Bidding ends in 45 hours. Remaining crawlers, 178,887. Entering bubble number 543 out of 1,100.
Oh, come on.
Air quadrant.
New achievement. The quarry sees another spring. You managed to enter a stairwell while listed in the current top 10. You're a survivor, a scrapper. And just as the buck's antlers grow another point as they mature, you too have grown as both a crawler and as a prize. Reward? You have received a gold venison box. Don't get too excited, it's just money. In addition, all bounties against you now and in the future will have a 2x modifier attached. Hey, at least the prize for surviving the floor goes up too.
What the shit? I said, seeing the notification. Nobody had warned me all of bounties would double. Mordecai hadn't mentioned it, nor had I seen it listed in the cookbook. I wondered if that was a new thing. Those fuckers. I coughed, regretting I'd said anything out loud. I spit the sand from my
Fuck!
Tens of thousands of crawlers hadn't made it past the last few hours of the 4th floor. I felt my fist clench and unclench as we trudged forward, leaning into the wind. Donut mewled with irritation from my shoulder. Hot wind blasted against us, and every time I breathed, my mouth and nose started to fill with sand. We needed masks. We could only talk using chat. We'd stepped from the warehouse onto the 5th floor just a few minutes after the 4th level collapsed. I felt the standard rumble in the ground while we were still in the warehouse, but it was much more distant than usual. Donut.
I need to pick a new class. I really wish they gave me more time. The choices are all different.
Carl. Mordecai, help Donut choose. We're in an air zone. Mordecai.
There you are. By the gods, did Audette make you clean her house first before she let you go? I'm already here and have been gathering intel. Come to the town that's hunched up against the northwest curve. The walls block the sandstorms. Locals say the storms only last an hour or two each day. Apparently there's only 2 towns in the area. Donut, read me your choices.
Donut quickly read off some of the class choices. None of them had a flying ability. Many sounded more interesting and exotic than usual, like Ninetales and Demigod Attendant, though there were a few in there that had to be a joke, like Vape Shop Counter Jockey. Mordecai asked rapid-fire questions. He zoomed in on 2 choices. Mordecai.
The class choices keep getting better. We still need to keep your constitution up. You just lost 10 points from losing your football hooligan. There's one that'll replace it and more. Glass Cannon normally forbids you from adding to your constitution upon level up, but it comes with a +15 constitution base, and it'll also greatly increase your training speed on all spells. It does not increase your intelligence, but it lowers the cost of all spells, which is almost the same thing.
Son of a bitch.
Be much stronger, and it's already pretty strong. You can't train constitution anyway, so it's a good choice, especially if we grind on your magic. But if you don't actually obtain some of those benefits, it could be a waste of a class.
Donut's character actor benefit went up in power each time she descended a floor, but it still came with a risk. She didn't always obtain all of the chosen class's benefits, and once she picked, it was set for the floor. Donut.
I chose it!
Mordecai.
Well, what did you get?
Donut.
I plus 15 to Constitution.
God damn it. I muttered and immediately regretted it. I had to spit out more sand. Mordecai.
Okay. We need to really focus on keeping Donut out of harm's way until we get her better armor. No more riding Mongo into battle.
Last choice out of the way. We started to move. Dust and sand swirled around us. The ground felt solid, though my feet sank to the ankles with each step. With the dust storm, I could barely see more than 20 feet in each direction. I looked up, and I saw nothing but ground. I turned, and the door we'd just left was gone, replaced by a curved, rocky but uniform wall. It seemed to rise high and away, like we were standing inside of a crudely sculpted bowl. Katya.
Okay. I see the edge of town. It's close, about 300 meters ahead and to the left. Our Pathfinder skill is acting a little odd. I can't see anything behind us except the mountain wall.
Donut.
There are no tunnels, at least. I hate tunnels.
I wasn't so sure about that. My chat was filled with people checking in with their surroundings. I minimized it until we were someplace safe, but I saw a few people mentioning tight, claustrophobic tunnels. We were within one such passageway. Ellie and Damani said they were on a round, floating island that was really a bunch of boats lashed together. They were being pelted with a hailstorm and had taken shelter in the hold of a cargo ship that was filled with level 29 fish monsters. Carl. I can't see shit. Watch out for mobs. Donut.
This is ruining my fur, and it's hot. I don't like this, Carl. Mongo is miserable.
Carl. Mongo is still in his container. You don't know if he's miserable or not. It was hot. It felt like a hairdryer blasting us. I remembered how cold it was.
Worth it,
First time
sort of.
My eyes caught a countdown timer in my upper left vision. It was my potion sickness indicator from when I'd taken Mordecai's special brew. I still had over 4 hours until I'd be able to take another potion.
AP,
At least the
AP.
timer kept ticking while we were on our dense show. Carl. Donut. Minefield. Donut unleashed Mongo, who squawked with dismay at the driving sandstorm. She cast a clockwork triplicate on the pet, and she ordered the 2 automatons to range ahead of us. With our limited vision, they'd provide an early warning for both mobs and sand dunes. The town was close, but getting there was a chore. We didn't see any mobs. We passed a cave-like entrance in the
Man, this is bad.
The clockwork Mongos were unable to enter despite
Welcome to low rank, everybody. Kills are plenty and so are deaths.
swirling eddies of sand. In the hole, I could see a tunnel fading away into darkness. I took a few steps down the slope, and I saw the shimmering wall. It was not a portal, but a force field of some sort, similar to the wall of my protective shield spell, protecting the entrance to the cave. The sand passed right through. The clockwork Mongo walked up and swiped at it, claw bouncing off it like it was a physical wall. The creature didn't explode or blow back. I formed my gauntlet and hesitantly reached out to tap it.
Warning. You may not enter this quadrant until your current quadrant's tester is liberated.
And I tried to shout what I'd learned of Donut and Katya, but the wind was just too loud. We had to stick with the chat. Carl. This is a cave entrance to the subterranean zone. Sounds like we can't leave the air zone until we deal with the gnomes. Katya.
The map won't let me see anything inside there. But look at the walls. I thought this was a mountain, but it all looks carved. I think there's a building under our feet.
I took a banger spear and rolled it down the slope. It bounced a few times down the uneven ramp, entered the area as if the wall wasn't there, and just kept going. It disappeared into the darkness. A moment later, the ground rumbled with a distant explosion. I didn't hear it, but I felt it in my feet.
You set off a trap. Maybe next time you'll
Okay.
be more careful.
Carl.
Hmm.
Shit. It sounds like the subterranean tunnels have traps in them. We need to be extra vigilant. Katya.
I believe it's an underground tomb. Like Indiana Jones stuff.
She pulled a regular torch from her inventory, lit it, and tossed it through the force field. It lit up a long, sloping hallway made of carved bricks. Carl, I think you're right. Relief patterns of what looked like a flaming, screaming pterodactyl adorned the walls. Well, that's ominous. Donut.
Can we discuss this after we get out of this sand? I mean, really, we can't even go in there. That's not our area. This is just awful. Some people on the chat say they're in a tropical paradise and some say they're in a snowing zone. Any of those would be better than this, and I don't even like snow.
We abandoned the cave entrance and continued on toward the town. The fact we hadn't seen any mobs was concerning. Less mobs usually meant stronger mobs. We did see one oddity as we trekked to the town. There was a twisted, burned-out shell of metal on the ground. It appeared it had been there for some time. I couldn't determine what it used to be, but it might have once been a vehicle. The system didn't label it at all. I touched the metal to see if I could take it into my inventory. It felt solid and light, but rusted. It was half buried in the sand. We left it and continued on our way. We soon came to a tall, curved wall made of sheets of metal riveted together. The walls rose high, maybe 20 feet, and a fabric awning covered it above that. The thick blue and white striped material whipped violently in the storm, threatening to rip away at any moment. The fabric curved up and away into the darkness. Every few dozen feet, large, dark boxes stood atop the walls. They appeared to be looking towers.
Son of a...
Closed up against the storm. Katya.
The town is built against the wall. There's an entrance that way.
She pointed right, and we followed along the patchwork metal until we reached an arched doorway built into an alcove that was mostly protected from the wind.
Freaking hell. Can't do jack squat. One. I stole it, but I died in the process. That Shinjo got way too much health. Fracking hell. What the hell? God, why do I play this game? Freaking hell. That Shen has too much health, man! Why do I play this game? Why do I play this game? Nope. Nope. Just can't. Can't do jack shiz. Fucking Shen. God, I hate this game. Why do I play this?
Donut started hacking up sand over my shoulder. There was a crude sign over the large, double doorway. It read, Humptown. Bang twice to enter. The knocker was a mallet.
Let me guess. Oh, sorry, you are being rejected. Thank you for your interest, but we have decided
Smacked it against the door twice.
to have consideration my ass. It's a fucking bot message that y'all came up with to quote unquote blow us in the blow, but it's just stupid, hollow bullshit. Fucking. Don't fucking. Just put it in the tagline. Oh, you've been rejected. Simple as that. I can just delete email. Move on.
She proceeded to puke on my shoulder. God damn it, Donut.
In ancient Egypt, it was considered an honor for a cat to vomit upon you. You should thank me. Humptown.
Katia said dryly.
I can't wait to find what that's all about.
Several minutes passed, and nothing happened. The clockwork mongoose timed out and collapsed. I was about to bitch at Mordecai to come open the door when it groaned, opening inwardly.
It's a big NPC.
Donut warned just as the creature appeared. The tall creature looked down on us while we looked up at him. It was a camel. A giant camel wearing a headscarf and robes. The thing walked on two legs and had long arms with 2 fingers and a thumb. The tan creature had to be 8 feet tall. His giant hump looked odd when he stood straight, like an overstuffed, low-slung backpack covered with robes.
Clay. Dromedarian. Level 30. The Dromedarians are a common, formerly nomadic race that is found throughout the drier parts of the universe. With the ability to store mass amounts of liquid in their bodies, it is said a Dromedarian can survive up to 2 months without taking a single sip of water. These hunters and warriors are placed in a situation where they can no longer wander. They tend to become lethargic, sloth-minded creatures. But make no mistake, this is a mighty race of warriors who were once known for their abject...
The tall creature looked down on us while we looked up at him. It was a camel. A giant camel wearing a headscarf and robes. The thing walked on 2 legs and had long arms with 2 fingers and a thumb. The tan creature had to be 8 feet tall. His giant hump looked odd when he stood straight, like an overstuffed, low-slung backpack covered with robes.
Clay. Dromedarian. Level 30. The Dromedarians are a common, formerly nomadic race that is found throughout the drier parts of the universe.
Thankfully, I'm playing a character, better than Briar.
Bodies, it is said a Dromedarian can survive up to 2 months without taking a single sip of water. When these hunters and warriors are placed in a situation where they can no longer wander, they tend to become lethargic, sloth-minded creatures. But make no mistake, this is a mighty race of warriors who were once known for their abject brutality. Trapped atop the necropolis of Answer, these local Dromedarians are locked in a 3-way stalemate with the Bactrians and the dirigible gnomes. Any day now, this smoldering conflict could boil over into an all-out war. A war they probably would not survive. In the meantime, they're perfectly content to sit around, smoke weed, and do their best to drink all their problems away.
Humptown, Katia said, looking up at the camel.
That's what they mean.
Yo! Clay, the camel, said. Welcome to Humptown.
Don't just stand there. Get in so I can close the door.
I just stared, blinking at the creature. Based on the way he was dressed and the description, I was expecting a stereotypical Middle Eastern type accent. This was more like a gruff biker dude. Like Joe Camel, I thought. The old cigarette mascot.
You don't worship Grohl, do you?
I asked as we stepped in. The wind howled around the village, and sand still rained in a dozen little spots here and there. The ground was covered with it, but it was nothing like out there.
Do I look like a face-painting, bull-worshipping bitch?
Clay asked. No, I said.
You lot got here just in time. Storm's almost over. It's dangerous to be out there when it stops blowing.
He slammed the heavy door closed. He carried a long, dangerous-looking spear over his shoulder, but he also carried a long tube that looked like a homemade bazooka or mortar. Sure enough, 5 pineapple-shaped explosives dangled on a string from his back. My UI tagged each one as a guided anti-air rocket. They were unarmed, so relatively stable. If they were guided, then it had to be magical, as they appeared to be pretty simplistic. It wouldn't let me examine them further. So, the beasts hide when the wind is blowing? I asked after Clay caught me staring at his gear. Clay grunted, a loud, wet sound that sprayed snot everywhere.
You must be new. You're lucky you ain't dead.
There's a Desperado Club,
Katya said.
no Club Vanquisher. I see several stores and inns.
Not so fast.
Clay said as I took another step.
You can't just enter Humptown empty-handed. You gotta pay the toll. And if you're the Club Vanquisher type, you are in the wrong place. They don't call it Humptown for nothing.
Oh, what's the toll? I asked.
Gold, drugs, or pleasure?
He looked me up and down. He snorted again, spraying more snot.
Gold or drugs for you?
It was the dungeon version of the old bumper sticker. Cash, grass, or ass. Nobody rides for free. I chuckled. How much gold?
How much you got?
Donut, sensing a deal to be made, straightened on my shoulder. Sand cascaded off of her. I held up a hand to stop her. How about this? I asked, pulling a single blitz stick from my inventory. I'd gotten a couple of these from Quint, the Desperado Club pharmacist. Clay pulled it from my hand and squinted, examining it. He immediately popped it into his mouth and lit it.
Oh, good shit. Oh. Welcome to Humptown. Stay out of City Hall. Dromedarians only. Other than that, have fun. If you're into weird shit alley is up against the far wall on the northeast side of town. Otherwise, the regular girls are mostly on Hump Street. I recommend Jasmine Delight over at the Wiggle Room.
Wait,
Katya said.
so the town is called Humptown because...
Yeah, we're a brothel town. What did you think? Now get out of here. And again, stay out of City Hall.
New quest. Stay out of City Hall. Find out what's in City Hall. It just might be important. Reward? You will receive a silver quest box.
Well, that's... I don't know. A little obvious, I muttered, as the camel wandered away, smoking his blitz stick. He stopped and talked to another camel, pointing at us. They both laughed.
Do you think the prostitutes are more camels?
Donut asked.
Because that's just weird.
Not as weird as an entire prostitution-based economy when there's only 2 towns. It's like the Iron Tangle all over again. It doesn't make any sense. Clay proudly showed his blitz stick to another camel, who also laughed. I was starting to realize what had just happened. We'd gotten scammed. I grunted. You asshole. Well played. Let's find Mordecai. The town's streets were laid out like a set of nested semicircles, like a rainbow. The residences dotted the outer ring, just inside the wall, interspersed with barracks-like buildings. The second ring consisted of shops
I hate that
and
cat.
mining guilds with the large City Hall building in the center. It was the largest building in town, rising up to the top of the fabric awnings, which all ran from the top of the building to both the town wall and the tomb wall behind it.
Okay, gotta bounce back because I ain't dealing with this crap by myself. No, I am not.
Triangular, like a jib on a sailboat, but much, much bigger. The town was
Firelies,
larger than I
echoes.
expected. Larger than the medium Skyfowl tower.
Firelies.
Owned from the 3rd floor. Indians and Desperado Club were all on the 3rd ring.
I'm gonna be dealing with bull crap. I'm gonna be able to lock these guys down.
The wind abruptly stopped, and just like that, dirty light streamed in from the spaces between the fabric awnings. Shouts rose around town, and suddenly camels were everywhere. A group appeared, pulling ladders and climbing the walls, unhooking the fabric. We had to step out of the way as a group of tall camels strode by on steampunk-like metal and spring stilts. We watched as they rolled the fabric up. In minutes, the massive sails were pulled up and placed atop the City Hall. I caught the shimmer of enchantment in the fabric. The group of camels expertly twisted the sails atop of the tower. The blue and white stripes formed a pattern, making something between a minaret, the onion towers atop St. Basil's Cathedral, and soft-serve ice cream. Only it was all made of fabric. Fabric they could quickly unfurl and redeploy the moment another storm arrived. That's pretty nifty, I said, amazed at how quickly they'd taken it all down.
Amazing.
Kashi agreed. I stared up into the sky, but gaped. On the 3rd floor, there'd been a fake ceiling and a illusory sky. There'd really been ceiling up there, one I could easily hit with my slingshot. Now, I could see the distant shimmer of what appeared to be a force field, but it was high, high in the air. Airplane height. I turned in a circle. The city ended at a massive wall that had to be 100 feet tall. Before, I thought we were in a giant bowl. I realized now that I was correct. A bowl that sat atop a tomb. What did the description call it? The necropolis of the answer.
Carl, this doesn't feel very dungeon-like to me.
Donut said, looking up at the sky. I laughed. You said you didn't like tunnels. There's a top. It's just really, really high up there. Remember what it said when we first came in? It called this place Bubble Number 543. Katya was also turning in circles, looking into the air.
We're under a dome.
She agreed.
Look at the way the light shines. It's gotta be 4 or 5 kilometers to the top.
Something flew by high above. It was a giant bird of some sort. It dove out of view past the edge of the bowl. If we're in the air quadrant, and the subterranean quadrant is under our feet, where are the land and sea quadrants? I asked.
I don't know,
She said.
but if we're in a bowl, maybe it's like an island and there's water outside the bowl.
You're close. A new, almost familiar voice said. I turned to look at the skyfowl. The large eagle approached us from one of the deeper streets. Mordecai, I said, looking at the light brown and beige eagle. Is that you? Like, really you? He grunted.
Are you taking the scenic route? By the gods, I had to come looking for you. This isn't what I really looked like. They made me a rock-edge skyfowl. I was a centurion. Darker feathers, larger wingspan, bigger talons. Much more handsome.
Mongo rushed up and sniffed at the manager, and upon realizing what it was, started bouncing up and down. You eagle guys all look the same to me, I said. We, again, had to move out of the way as a group of dromedarians marched past. There were 7 of them, and the system listed them as Level 48 Waster Patrol. They were decked out in dark robes. They carried spears and more of the bazookas over their shoulders. These guys walked with purpose and
Underarmed. For health.
Don't get me wrong.
Mordecai continued.
Okay.
It's amazing.
That's not good.
It's the first time I've been in a body similar to my real form in a very long time. But they fucked me.
Mordecai spread out his wings.
I'm in the body of a goddamn cleric. That means I'm clipped. I can fly, but only short distances. Imagine if you suddenly woke up in the body of a eunuch and were then thrown into a supermodel orgy.
He looked up into the sky and sighed heavily.
At least I'm still a skyfowl. And anything is better than a damn toad.
Skyfowl didn't have arms, just feet and wings, like regular eagles. Can you still, get potion stuff in that body? He looked at me as if I just asked to see news of his mom.
Better than ever, he said. Anyway, Katya, you were close. We are in a dome, like a snow globe. They're calling them bubbles. The necropolis of Answer is a very high tower. We are on top of it. He pointed up. That bubble is bigger than it looks from here. The ground and the sea are far below us. You came in a few minutes late, so you missed the first announcement. But there's going to be another announcement explaining the floor's rules in a couple of minutes. Let's get into a safe room and get some food and listen to what they gotta say.
We walked toward Mordecai's chosen inn, a bar called The Toe. I walked ahead with Mordecai, while Katya, Mongo, and Donna held back, oohing and awing at all the sights. The town was an odd mix of stereotypical movie-style Middle Eastern village mixed in with the Burning Man festival. The adobe buildings were oftentimes augmented with rusty, metallic exoskeletons. I couldn't tell if it was armor, something functional, or just art. One residence had a steampunkish telescope on top, pointing up. Another held a weather station that glowed with enchantment. A battery-powered engine chugged outside of another building. A pair of young camels zipped by in a tracked cart, like a mini tractor, dragging a rickety wagon stacked impossibly high with branches. They laughed as they bounced. The whole town smelled of smoke and oil and wood. Every NPC I'd seen so far was a camel, but that changed once we hit Hunt Street. A pair of women standing outside one bar spied us, and they both changed shape. One into a human woman, the other into a skyfowl. Are those changelings or doppelgangers? I asked. The tag over them said they were what they portrayed.
Changelings, like me, Mordecai said sourly. Don't trust them. If you're feeling like you need to, stick with the Desperado Club.
The cookbook had something similar to say about changelings. It had called them thieving, backstabbing whores, or something of the like. I observed a pair of crawlers gawking at us. Both were level 22 humans. I waved, and they backed away into a different bar, as if they were afraid of me. 15 days, huh? I said, changing the subject.
I was expecting 12, Mordecai said. The fact they gave us 3 more than expected is not necessarily a good thing. I already know how the floor works, and we're already screwed. So with the extra 3 days, I suspect we might be in for a nasty surprise.
Why are we screwed? I asked.
You're stuck in a quadrant with maybe 3 dozen other crawlers. That's it. Everyone I've seen so far other than you guys is so underpowered it's a miracle they've made it this far. And what's worse, you gotta use them to help you storm the gnome castle to get to the stairwell.
Yeah, I said. We need to reset our buffs, get some sleep, open up all our boxes, and then see if we can find the place.
Find it?
Mordecai asked. He pointed up. I looked, following his wing. High above, brushing the ceiling of the dome, and far to the side was a tiny little speck.
There's your castle.
Shit, I said. The Toe is a simple inn-style tavern with a dromedarian proprietor. The place smelled like a petting zoo. This inn only employed a single prostitute, a woman changeling named Juicebox, who sat pouting in the corner after we all rejected her. In addition to the woman, the Toe also offered alcohol, food, and a few rooms. The incoming message was not a regular announcement, as we still had 10 more hours until the recap episode. The bar had the traditional 3 screens, but the middle screen with the top 10 was empty. A countdown appeared, indicating it would populate in 10 hours after the recap. Apparently, that was a normal thing. We ordered drinks and food and sat at the table, waiting for the message. It came quickly.
Hello, crawlers. Welcome to the 5th floor. We are so very excited for you to enjoy this new and exciting level. We have just over 178,000 of you join us. The last floor was somewhat of a mystery, and finding out how it worked was part of the fun. This floor is a little different. And the rules are pretty simple. We want you guys to have a great time with this one. There are over 4,000 castles on this floor. Every castle contains a single stairwell. No two castles are the same. Think of a sheet of bubble wrap. Every bubble is its own self-contained world. Each individual world has 4 zones or quadrants. There are a total of 1,172 bubbles. All of you are inside of a bubble, equally and randomly distributed the best we could. That comes to a little more than 150 crawlers per bubble. Like with the castles, every bubble is different. Each bubble is split into 4 quadrants: land, sea, air, and subterranean. Each quadrant has a single castle within. Your mission is to find the castle, raid it, and take the throne room. Once the throne room is occupied or the quadrant's boss is killed, the castle is considered conquered. The stairwell is also located in the throne room, so no need to be scrambling around worried about not being able to find it. Easy, right? Take the castle, take the stairwell.
That sounds simple enough, I said. But it wasn't simple. If we couldn't fly, how the hell could we get up there? It's not like we could build a cannon to toss us. We were going to have to build a balloon. Or an airplane. Or find a way to shoot it down. Something.
But there is a small hitch. In order for your stairwell to actually open up and be passable, all 4 castles in your bubble must first be taken. That's right. The land, sea, air, and subterranean castles must all fall in order for you to proceed to the 6th floor.
Mordecai groaned. God damn it, I said. I exchanged a look with Katya, who looked ill. Even Donut seemed taken aback.
Luckily for you, once you've taken your own castle, make your list outside of your quadrant to lend a hand to your fellow bubble buddies. Once all 4 castles are taken, the bubble is popped, and you may proceed outside of the bubble area if you wish. You may not enter other bubbles until they are also popped. Good luck, folks! Some of these castles are much easier to crack than others. Also, the 2nd round of sponsorship bidding is underway. We'll have another message in a few hours after the regular recap episode. Now, get out there and kill, kill, kill.
We sat in silence for several moments. Mordecai's feathers around his neck ruffled and unruffled. He turned to look at us.
I'm going to assume right now that out of the 150 or so crawlers in this bubble, every single one of them is an incompetent idiot. That means you have less than 4 days to take each castle. So get that food in your mouths, open all the boxes you've accumulated, get your asses to bed, and then get back out there. We got a lot of work to do.
Chapter 2. The first thing Donut did was bounce over to the mailbox and grab her spellbook of the Floor Club prize as we headed toward our personal space.
Maybe it'll be a flying spell.
Katya muttered. We won't be so lucky, I said. We did, however, have 3 very rich sponsors amongst us, and we were about to receive 3 more. I hated, absolutely hated, having to depend on them for help. But I was at a loss as to what we were going to do.
What's the point of being able to leave the bubble if we can't get into the other bubbles?
Katya asked. Right now we need to focus on that flying castle, I said. Imani.
Hey, Carl. What's a backstay?
Carl. In sailing terms, it's the rigging that runs from the mast to the back of the boat. There are different kinds. Ellie.
There are 20 of us, and not a one of these old farts has ever sailed a boat. Can you believe that? I told them not to put me into Meadowlark. I would have been better off in one of the more expensive old folks' homes, surrounded by rich old codgers who grew up on boats. But no. The system is giving us a sailing tutorial, but it doesn't tell us where the things are. How are we supposed to pull the boom thing when we don't know what it is? This thing is more complicated than those trains.
Imani.
We need to figure this out quickly. There are rocks everywhere. What's a spinnaker? Wait, we don't need that part yet.
Carl. Jesus, you guys need to be careful. Sailing a boat isn't something you can figure out on the fly. It takes months. Imani.
We would have an NPC helping us if Ellie hadn't iced him.
Ellie.
He was being suspicious. We're on our way back to the island. If we crash, we crash. There are boats everywhere. We have our pick.
Imani.
Not all of us can float Ellie.
Carl. Weren't you on the island already? You know what? Never mind. Just be careful. Donut gasped.
Call! I got a good one this time.
She glowed as she read the book. I took a deep breath. Donut. We talk about the spell books before we read them. Remember?
I want your panties, Carl.
Katya laughed.
You got that from Ellie. I know, right? She's been teaching me sayings from the olden times.
That's not very princess-like, I grumbled.
Oh, Carl, just chillax.
That is a good spell, Mordecai said. It's another utility spell, like Hole. What is it? Astral Paw, Mordecai said. Not as good as Astral Hand, because there's no thumb to manipulate and hold things. But there's more force to it, especially at higher levels, and it can be used as a weapon. She can grow claws on it at level 5. At level 10, she can make the paw a lot bigger. At level 15, her skills and abilities will translate directly to the paw. That's a big deal since her regular swipe is pretty strong. There's a similar spell we might want to get for you. Astral Fist. Anyway, she can manipulate items at a distance as if you're touching them. Distance grows with level up.
Come on, man.
It's about 10 meters. I laughed. Hey, Donut, if we were back home, you'd finally be able to knock that vase off the high shelf.
That thing was immense, Carl. It was haunted.
We had a high shelf covered with knickknacks and some heirloom vase thing over the television in our apartment. She tried several times to jump up there, but never got close. Sometimes she'd sit on my lap while I was playing a game, and she'd stare up at it and start meowing. We returned to our personal space. Almost 2 days later, and the cleaner bot had not yet finished cleaning all the blood. It was almost done. It was on the couch, sucking away at the back of the cushions when we entered. That thing needs a raise, I said. The bot beeped in agreement.
Open your boxes and then assign your stat points.
Mordecai said. I sat in the kitchen chair and pulled up the achievements I'd missed. I had several, including a few really good ones. I did not get any sort of credit for killing the mimic, though I hadn't been expecting it. Most of the achievements revolved around dealing with Grow and tossing a nightmare into a portal with local soul crystals.
New achievement! Let there be chaos! You have successfully summoned a god into the dungeon. That's a great way to get more friends. Everybody loves it when someone brings immortal death machines to the party. Reward? It might have been a bad idea, but it's sure going to be entertaining. New achievement! Divine Epiphany. You have seen a deity. Don't get too excited. It doesn't mean you're a prophet or anything like that. This is a pretty common achievement that all crawlers eventually receive if they survive long enough, so you aren't really that special. Finding a god is easy. What you don't want is for that god to find you. Reward? You now have the option to worship the god Grow.
Note, there is a new tab now available in your interface.
I laughed. I looked up at the ceiling and said, Grow can suck my dick. Donut and Katya, who had both just received the same achievement, also laughed.
Worship Grow? At this point, I'm quite sure it's the other way around.
Still not.
New achievement! Indomitable! You have been physically attacked by a deity, and you survived. This is a feat that has only been accomplished by a handful of crawlers in the history of Dungeon Crawler World. Good job! Unfortunately for you and anybody around you, whenever this happens, the other deities tends to notice. Reward? You have received a legendary deities box.
Wow, I said. A legendary box. The next achievement came in the AI's creepy, I'm touching myself and smoking a cigarette voice.
Smushed for daddy. You've been stepped upon by a deity. Survived the encounter. Well, this wasn't the pink-fleshed suppleness of a human-shaped flesh that crushed your fragile, wet
Jesus.
I remembered that moment when the god had stepped upon me. I would have been obliterated had I not been under that potion's protection. I remembered the dungeon had rumbled, but I was a little preoccupied to notice it at the time. After that, there were only a few more notable achievements.
New achievement! Hail Mary! You have initiated an attack that has caused more than 100 casualties, more than 100 kilometers from your current position. You're either the universe's greatest sniper, or you've been a sneaky little portal-using bitch. Either way, that's rather impressive. You'd have a great career in politics ahead of you if, you know, we hadn't destroyed your world and all the governments and stuff. Reward? You've received a gold sniper's box. New achievement! Extinction event! You have, with a single attack, killed every last member of a non-unique species on a dungeon's floor. That's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a special brand of asshole to pull something like this off. Species killed? Wall monitors. Reward? You have received a platinum assholes box.
The wall monitors were the lizard creatures that lived in the abyss. When the train had popped through the portal and blown everything to hell, we must have killed them all. In addition to all of that, we all received 2 bronze boss boxes for killing the Mantars, even though we hadn't technically killed either of them. Both had been summoning vessels for Graw. I wasn't going to complain. Nobody else in the party received the Indomitable achievement, though Katya had received a similar one for surviving a god's magic attack, but it was only a gold box. Apparently Ellie was the only other one to get the legendary box.
Dang it.
I also received
Just dang it.
a fan box for having the most switchovers during a battle. I didn't know what that actually meant, but we'd find out tomorrow with the people that picked for me. Since it was a lower tier fan box, I wasn't too enthusiastic. Of the 3 of us, Donut had received the least amount of boxes, though she did receive a platinum that wasn't too smart was it box for attacking the province boss. Her 2 regular boss boxes were coins and healing themed scrolls. However, she did receive a scroll that filled me with dread.
Scroll of water breathing. Allows you to breathe underwater. Lasts as many seconds as your intelligence stat times 3. It does not protect you from swimmer's ear or being eaten by an undead barracuda. I hope you know how to swim.
I'm saying this right now, Carl.
Donut announced the moment she received the scroll.
I am a cat. Cats do not swim. Cats do not go in water. It is unnatural, and it is not going to happen.
Mordecai.
God damn it, Donut. Don't say that stuff out loud.
Donut.
I can't exactly say it in chat anymore, can I, Mordecai?
Mordecai.
Your chats are still protected if I'm in on it. If you need to vent, make sure you do it to me.
He swiped her tail angrily several times.
This is not acceptable. I do not like this one bit.
The scrolls are
Happy
fun,
Yone.
Mordecai said, sighing.
If I can get the right materials, I will make a potion for water breathing. There are also several different spells that will allow you to travel freely in water.
What about flying? I said. He shook his head.
Spells and items, yes. Lots and lots. But potions? If you'd saved one of the bench upgrade coupons, then maybe. I really need 2 upgrades. Otherwise, we'll have to do it another way.
He said this loudly. He was really talking to our sponsors. Donut's final platinum box contained another magic book. It was a 15-mana spell called Wall of Fire.
That's an escape spell, Mordecai said. It's about a 10-meter wide, 2-meter high wall of fire that lasts 15 seconds at level 1. It's a common spell, powerful later on, but it's also fire. Fire tends to spread. When the magic goes away, if it's cast on something flammable, it stays on fire. I've seen it 100 times. Fire gets out of control very easily. It's not fireball.
Donut grumbled.
That's what I really want.
She glowed as she read the book. Katya opened her boxes next. In addition to gold, she received several more of the water-breathing scrolls along with antidote potions. The water-breathing scrolls and antidote pots seemed to be pretty common, making them this floor's version of the torch and the bandage. In her gold survivor's box, she received a skill potion that she was forced to drink right away. It raised her catcher's skill, which she'd been training relentlessly, up to level 11. I went next. My boss boxes contained a few healing scrolls, a useless magical shirt, and a handful of the water-breathing scrolls. But I also received one more invisibility potion. That potion saved my ass during the fight with Raw.
That's an easy but expensive potion to make, Mordecai said. Some of the materials for it are rare. It's good that you're getting them.
It's like once you start getting something, you're more likely to keep getting it, I said.
That's absolutely right. And sometimes things, like those water-breathing scrolls, are a not-so-subtle hint about what you might find on a level. See all those antidote potions Katya received? It means we have lots of poison-dealing monsters and traps on this floor as well. Good thing both you and Donut are immune to poison. How wonderful for you,
Katya said dryly. I received 40,000 gold for surviving the level in the top 10. Donut had gotten 30,000 and Katya 10,000. We still needed to purchase some environmental upgrades for the space, but at the moment we had about 650,000 gold between the three of us, and that was before I opened the rest of my boxes. My gold sniper's box contained a crafting item. It was a case containing 25 small, black items, each about the size of a bottle cap.
Surefire crafting item. A surefire
'Cause we're in bronze.
status to any projectile, powered or not. It may be utilized on a vast array of crafting tables. If added to an arrow or bolt, you must choose a target prior to unleashing the weapon, and the projectile will seek that target. If added to a trap, additional options become available.
Jesus Christ.
Target any healers within range, or target anyone who thinks it's okay to put mayonnaise on hot dogs. If added to a powered weapon, such as an explosive-based rocket, targets may be assigned during the crafting process.
Surviving the level in the top 10. Donut had gotten 30,000 and Katya 10,000. We still needed to purchase some environmental upgrades for the space, but at the moment we had about 650,000 gold between the three of us, and that was before I opened the rest of my boxes. My gold sniper's box contained a crafting item. It was a case containing 25 small, black items, each about the size of a bottle cap.
Surefire crafting item. A surefire adds the guided status to any projectile, powered or not. It may be utilized on a vast array of crafting tables.
Jesus fuck.
Added to an arrow or bolt, you must choose a target prior to unleashing the weapon, and the projectile will seek that target. If added to a trap, additional options become available, such as target any healers within range, or target anyone who thinks it's okay to put mayonnaise on hot dogs. If added to a powered weapon, such as an explosive-based rocket, targets may be assigned during the crafting process or upon firing, but not both. Note, this upgrade alone does not add range to the projectile.
Cool, I said, moving to my 2 platinum boxes. The platinum spicy box, the one I'd got system AI was a goddamn pervert,
Freaking.
contained a toe ring.
Enchanted toe ring of the leprous bandit. This is a unique item. Most children in the universe know the exciting tale of the leprous bandit, the infamous human thief whose people were starving to death because of a planet-wide quarantine. While all the planet's residents were carriers of the disease, it did not affect them. But because the disease was deadly to the Forsoothed, the planet's regents, the aliens placed themselves in floating protection platforms, guarding the gardens and food stores in hopes to starve the humans all out. The bandit climbed a mountain, jumped onto a platform, and broke into the floating garden. He was quickly killed, of course, but not before he infected the Forsoothed and caused them to flee the planet. Thanks to the bandit's intervention, the human planet survived another 100 years before it was obliterated in an unrelated conflict. To this day, the leprous bandit remains an inspiration. This totally imbues the following.
God damn it!
The super spreader benefit. 2 benefits in 1 item? I said, that's a pretty damn valuable ring. That's almost legendary tier.
Sure enough, I stuck it in my inventory to check. and its value was up there, right above the ring of divine suffering and below that Chimaera's figure. I inspected the two benefits.
Sticky feet. Once every 6 hours, or dexterity times 2 seconds, you may walk upon a non-horizontal surface, such as a wall or ceiling. Gravity will not change, so leave your beer on the ground and make sure you tuck in your shirt first.
Hell with it. We're gonna lose anyways.
No socks?
God damn it. God damn it!
You like Spider-Man, I said.
Ugh.
Too bad it's only once
Oh, that's insulting.